Yesterday on the channel, I talked about the paradox of control. I'm going to drop a link to yesterday's video here. So if you are in sales, marketing, you are in personal development, you want to improve yourself, you want to be a good communicator, you want to be an influencer, you want to persuade people, then I want you to go watch that video. And at the same time, if you are seeking a little more understanding of yourself, you want to introspect and you want to build some self-awareness, it's important to understand the power of control. Now, before I could, at the end of yesterday's video, I realized that I should have talked about power and force and explained those principles before explaining how the paradox of control works and why it's important to understand that. Now, depending upon you're watching this video for the very first time or that one, regardless, I want you to watch both the videos. That's the point. So let's talk about what's power, what's force within the context of energy, in the context of relationships, in the context of influence, in the context of leadership, the context of legacy and all that. Okay. What's the difference? I think the difference is very obvious. But sometimes we confuse when to use power, when to use force, and what proportions should be used, and in what context they're relevant. My idea is by the end of this video, you understand the context, you understand the weightage that you have to apply for each. And I think the place where I'm going with this video is more or less you stay completely away from force. That's my line of argument here. But then you still need force at some level anyway. So by the time we are done with this video, you'll get the idea. Okay. So, and the reason why I'm saying the power is dominant in this conversation, and majority, the line I'm taking here for this video is that power, because it lasts. Force may seem to work initially at the very nascent stage of any situation, but over time it does fade away, it fails. So whenever there is an external push, there is coercion, there is manipulation, there is pressure, all that can be categorized as force. When there is inner authority involved, when there is conviction, when there is clarity, when there is presence, all that can be categorized into power. Just by these two categorizations, you know where you want to see yourself. It's true, force can win battles, but it's also proven that it loses wars. Power, I shouldn't say when used properly, but regardless, power always sustains influence. Power comes from alignment. It usually doesn't come from struggle. When there is struggle, there is no power, more or less. So it sustains influence. Okay. Force drains. So you have constant resistance to force. There are escalations that happen because you're applying force. And as a result of you trying to make up and kind of dominate the escalations, you need more power within you and more energy within you. And that energy means that at some point, you're going to burn out. On the other hand, when power is concerned, it renews. Power, when really, when you understand the dynamics of power, you will end up attracting, you'll end up inspiring, you will start multiplying whatever resources you have because you are powerful. Okay. I have gotten this question, how do I know when to differentiate these two? How much should I apply? Where I should When would I know that I've gone too far with this? And when do I pull myself out? I've gotten that question multiple times. And the answer to that is, if you stop pushing, does it collapse? If that is true, then that is force. So you are pushing and you stop, you're applying force, it stops, it collapses. That means it was done with force. If it grows without you, and it does grow without you silently. There is no mention of you, there is no sound there, no activity there, nothing, it's silent. Then that means that's power. Okay. As I said in the beginning, let's talk, in the context of relationships and leadership and legacy, let's talk about those things. In the context of relationships, force creates compliance, but it does also create resentment. Power creates respect and for sure trust. In terms of legacy, in terms of leadership, it's also very obvious. With force, you are giving orders, and force, you can see you may end up doing a lot of micromanagement and all that. But with power, you are sharing your values, your vision, you are exhibiting a behavior. So you yourself are modeling a behavior, you are exhibiting that behavior, and people will start modeling that behavior in a way, will start willingly following you. Okay. And power will let people willingly follow you. And in terms of legacy, if you go back and look at people like Mahatma Gandhi or Mandela, they are remembered for. There are many dictators, and there are many oppressors. You don't remember them, but you do remember people who peacefully walked the face of this earth and used inner power to create massive changes in their societies, in their communities, and in their countries, and in the humanity. So clearly, force fades with time, and with fear, force fades. Power is the only one that endures the truth. Those were some of my thoughts. I want you to go watch this video. Okay. Well, hopefully I'm going to link it here. Maybe towards the end of this video, I'm going to drop yesterday's video. Go check that out. Hopefully between yesterday's video on the paradox of control and today's video was about power versus force, you'll get very good, well-rounded understanding on how these things work. If there is more that if there is more I realize that I have to share, I'll come back and share with you tomorrow. But for now, this is what it is. I'm trying to catch the sun. Tomorrow is going to be raining here, so a little bit of light, whatever I have there, I'm trying to catch to record this video. That's all for now. Wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Check this video now, this one.